Hi, my name is Tomasz and I'm a Norwegian language teacher. I have done numerous road trips through Norway, including our last year's trip, in which we've driven our compact car for nearly 9,000 kilometers. In today's video, I'd like to give you guys a few essential tips that may help you in planning your own trip to see the land of the fjords. Tip 1. You will need a car. Sure, it is possible to travel through Norway on the bus, on the train or on a boat, but most of the places you will want to visit are quite remote. Without a car, it will be hard to reach them. If you're flying to Norway from abroad, you will want to rent a car once you are in the country. Many people drive a camper van to Norway, and it's certainly a popular choice. However, a normal car will suffice just as well. Tip number 2. How to even start planning your own trip. We found that a good base for a road trip is to check the national tourist routes of Norway, or Nasjonale Turistveier in Norwegian. On their website, you will find a number of routes which you can visit by car with a plenty of scenic viewpoints along the way. A nice thing about the national tourist routes are all the amenities you will find along the way. There will always be an accessible parking and a clean toilet, which is also usually designed by some renowned architect. So you have decided on a route you want to do? Now mark these spots on your Google Maps. This will help you to plan in which order you should visit these places, and maybe you will find some additional spots along the way. One more thing to remember here. While Norwegian roads are safe, they are often quite narrow and they lead through mountainous areas. So don't expect to be able to drive fast through these roads. Also, because you will be stopping along the way to take pictures, we found that a good estimate is to double the required time that your sat-nav is showing. Every morning we would set off from our camping spot and we checked how long it would take to our next camping spot. And we would never aim to drive longer than, let's say, 5 hours. Because 5 hours in reality would then turn out to be 10 hours. Now, tip number 3. Do not book your accommodation too early, unless it's some super popular touristy destination or it's a big city. Why? Well, the reason is weather. The weather in Norway is unfortunately quite unpredictable. It's possible that the area you've planned to visit on a certain day may be super rainy, and you don't want to be stuck in that area for the entirety of the day because you've already booked and paid for your accommodation before. You will find plenty of camping areas in Norway where it shouldn't be too hard to find a cozy cabin to sleep in or even just a spot for a tent. For us, it was usually enough to book a cabin just a day before or even on the same day. Now, tip number 4. Since you will be traveling by car or a camper van, you need to remember about the tolls in Norway. Fortunately, there is no need to wait in lines at any booths in Norway. All tolling is 100% automated, while a rental car will probably have a little device behind the windshield that is required for the tolling. If you are taking your own car, you will need to register at ePass24. There, you just enter the number plates of your car, your credit card details, and once you are done with your trip, you will be invoiced and you can pay by card. Same thing goes for ferries, which, by the way, you will definitely have to take when traveling through Norway at some point, especially if you're traveling through the fjords. While there are some ferries that can be paid for using ePass24, most of them use a separate service, which is called Ferry Pay. Just register on that website as well, and you will be charged automatically. When it comes to paying for parking, some touristy spots may require you to pay, unfortunately. Be prepared to have to download an app to pay for the parking. While setting up an app may be a little bit inconvenient, once you have it, it's actually very easy to use. Now, tip 5. Since we're already on the topic of money and paying for things in Norway, there's probably no real reason for you to take any cash with you. You can take some just in case, but pretty much everywhere you can pay by card. I recommend using a service like Revolut to get better rates when exchanging currency. Tip 6. So I mentioned Norway's unpredictable weather before, or rather Norway's rainy weather, I should have said. Norwegians have a saying that there is no bad weather, only bad clothes. and you really should take proper clothes with you when going to Norway, even if it's in the middle of the summer. So what should you pay attention when choosing clothes? Waterproof clothing is a priority. A good jacket and waterproof boots are essential. Remember to take a warm hat as well. Even in summer, on some days in the mountains, the temperatures may drop below 10 degrees Celsius. One day we had to sleep in the mountains in a tent, and it was only 3 degrees Celsius at night, and it was the beginning of August. Tip 7. Speaking of what clothes you should take, what should you bring on your trip in general, apart from a camera, of course, to take some breathtaking pictures. If you're going to be driving by a car instead of a camper van, then do take a tent with you. Some sleeping bags, sleeping mats, just in case, even if you don't plan on using them. Better be prepared. Besides, in my opinion, there's nothing better than waking up in a tent in a beautiful Norwegian landscape in the morning. If you're going to sleep in cabins, it's a good idea to take your own bed linens with you. Most cabins, while they have duvets, they don't have sheets and linens. If you don't have your own, you'll be charged additionally. A camping stove and a portable coal grill are some other good ideas as well. Always have the ability to prepare a warm and tasty meal, even if you're camping in the middle of nowhere. These are all the tips I have for you right now. Like and subscribe our channel for more content related to Norway. We are planning to release some videos with our own proposals of travel itineraries for your own trip to Norway. Thanks for watching and goodbye.